Extremely grateful, my honourable friend, and can I thank him for all the work he's done to put in place not just this consultation but also the fund, which will be tremendously useful for these purposes too. But would he accept that there is a sense of urgency here? There is a need to get on with removing these barriers, and if he's not content with the timetable that's been set out in this amendment, can he give the House an indication of what he thinks the right timetable is, so that community energy companies and others can know where they stand and get on with the good work that he and I are both in favour of?
But of course there are other people in this House who also feel very strongly about this issue. For the proposals that the Lords have now twice tried to get inserted into the bill are essentially the wording of a bill presented by a group called Power for the People, which proposed wording for a community energy enabling bill and undertook a campaign to secure signed-up support for its proposed bill from parliamentarians. And it did indeed secure substantial support for its proposed bill from parliamentarians who do feel strongly on the issue of community energy. 325 members of this House signed up for support, including 130 members of the government benches, and perhaps most remarkably, 22 members of the government, including 6 Treasury ministers and the present Chancellor. And as I do often seek to remind the minister opposite me in today's proceeding, himself. So there's no lack of support in this House for the principles and practice of community energy.
At the same time, community energy is here and now. We can get on and delivering net zero with the tools, the technologies that we have, but above all, the people that we have to be able to deliver it. And we have individuals and communities across the country. Community Energy England has 220 groups, of which a third of those would like also to build onshore wind turbines like Ambition Lawrence Western. They want to get on with it. They're not often being paid to do this. They do this because they recognise what they can return to their communities. And as a Conservative that believes in the power of local communities, we as a government should be supporting to the hilt local communities to deliver on energy action. And actually we can turbocharge our transition towards net zero if we can empower and support more community energy groups to take the action they need to take.
In the midst of an energy price crisis, when low-cost, clean, home-produced energy has never been more important, there is enormous potential across these islands for growth in small-scale renewable energy generation, especially by community groups that can provide cheaper, greener power and reinvest the profits locally. Community energy schemes currently generate a mere 0.5%. It's depressing of energy in the UK. This could grow 20-fold in 10 years, according to studies by the Environmental Audit Committee, but only if we get action from a Westminster government. That power, Madam Deputy Speaker, could power 2.2 million homes, save 2.5 million tonnes of CO2 emissions a year, while creating over 30,000 jobs. As the government's own benches are pointing out, these things aren't an impediment to economic growth, Madam Deputy Speaker. They are a driver of economic growth. And furthermore, they would reduce dependence on energy imports, all the while reducing reliance on foreign energy.
We are in the middle of an energy crisis. Bills have skyrocketed. Access to cheap, clean, home-produced energy has never been more vital. We need to secure our energy supply, protect consumers and reach net zero. And as we have always said in this debate about reaching net zero, we need to take people with us. And that is not about actually delaying targets, as the government has just done, but encouraging people to walk this difficult journey to net zero. Community energy does exactly that. Why is the government not supporting it with all its might behind it? Unfortunately, this government are unwilling to see its potential. Community energy schemes currently generate just 0.5% of the UK's electricity. This is, and we know all this, and we have said it many times, because the financial, technical and operational requirements involved in becoming a licensed supplier puts initial costs at more than £1 million, a massive risk for any new startup and any small scheme. So any community energy projects like the one in Bath can only exist because they have reached a certain size, and that is one of the problems.
As a result of working closely with colleagues who have made representations during the passage of this bill, on the 5th of September, This year, I set out the Government's commitment to consult on the barriers the sector faces when developing projects. And as a part of this process, we are involving the community energy sector in designing the consultation through our Community Energy Contact Group. The group has already had constructive discussion on this work at their meeting earlier this month. Government has already made a clear commitment to the consultation. In fact, I announced this commitment myself at this dispatch box in September,